Hello, welcome back to another video. It's been a minute, been a hot minute. So I'm finally back out again. I couldn't resist with the snow. Obviously the perfect time to hike for me. Love winter camping. The plan is to head up to Blencathra. I have been up there for a winter camp before with my girlfriend. I'm just going to go up there solo today. It's a nice easy hike up from Scales. Should get some nice views, plenty of snow. There's some gale force winds forecast for later, so I'm imagining blizzard conditions later. Should make it interesting. But I've got some good gear, so nothing to worry about. Sorry I've been away for so long. Combination of things, some work and also just difficulties getting out. I know I've mentioned it on my channel many times. I'm really struggling. I've been trying to get out hiking for the past 2 days. I've had my bag packed, I've got up in the morning, just not wanted to go. But today I forced myself. It was snow again yesterday, but yeah, today I forced myself. So I've come out looking forward to it. So it's full on winter conditions. I've got my spikes, which I don't need just yet. Ice axe for on some of the hills, just in case you slip or fall, so you can self-arrest. And I've got the goggles as well, which will be going on soon. Snow's driving in. There's lots of snow forecast today. This is a Sunday in January. What are you doing? So let's take you on the journey. Let's head up to Blencathra, have a catch up, enjoy the winter conditions, and I'll see you on the trail. So much easier with the goggles on, with the wind blowing in your face or the snow. It's going to be a nice and slow, steady pace today. I've not hiked since October. I did film a couple of things, but I just haven't edited them. I've not put them out. I probably won't. Maybe put them out in the future, but yeah. So first time out, winter pack, weighs a ton as well. I think it's about 16 kilo. Not like me. You want to make sure you're comfortable. It's going to be cold. I've even got a sit mat, which I wouldn't normally take, to go under my mattress just for a little bit of added warmth. And I think I'm just going to stop briefly and put my spikes on. It's a little bit thick, the snow for it, but it is slippy. And I know that once you've got them on, you get such good traction. So I'm going to sit on this little mound, get my spikes on, and I'll see you up there. There we go. Right, I'm just going to put the other one on and then let's get going. The Cthulhu micro spikes, by the way, if anyone wants to know. I'm going to top up now because last time I was up Blencathra I had to rely on the water at the top and it was all frozen, the tarn, which it probably will be today, so it means carrying it now, but best getting water while you can. 2 litres and I've got 850 in a bottle. That should be plenty. Like I say, I'm in no rush today. I've set off nice and early and we're just doing a camp at the top, so there's no need to rush. I'm just going to take my time, enjoy it, get the most out of this weather. I wait for this weather every year. It's my favourite time, and when we had the snow last month or 6 weeks ago, I just didn't get out. Again, struggled with my mental health. So I'm not letting it beat me this time. I've come out today, so I need to stay on a roll. I mention it all the time, but if anybody else has this, please comment below. Let me know what you do. It's a real challenge for me. If anyone wants to go out and do a joint hike or camp, then it can just be a nice day hike. Reach out. It's a little bit of commitment to get out. Not that I need to hike with somebody, but you know, could be a little bit of fun as well. Meet new people, like-minded people, meet some subscribers. So if you fancy getting on a hike, reach out on my socials below, drop me on the socials or drop a comment below and we'll see if we can hook something up. I don't want to do it as my hiking group because I'm responsible for the people then, and obviously being winter conditions you need insurance for that. So if people want to meet up just as friends, each responsible for their own, then let's do it. Okay, just going to get up to this bit now and then we're doubling back on ourselves to head up. I'll show you when we get there. As you get to the top of that section, I'll turn the camera around and show you. We start to open up. Now straight ahead, as you can see, there's a path to the left and right of the little river, and that takes you to Scales Tarn, where you've got Sharp Edge to the right and you can go up to the left of Scales Tarn, or you've got straight up, and that's where we're going. You follow it round and you end up zigzagging up right up to the summit. So if you've managed to get out anywhere, tell me where you've been. Tag me in your pictures even. Love to see it. And if you've not, and you know you're unsure of gear for a hike or a camp or whatever it may be, again, drop a message below. I'll answer what I can. I'm by no means the expert, but I have done it quite a lot. I will leave a link to last year's video when I came up with my girlfriend Kay. Just a little bit of a different dynamic when you come with somebody else. Obviously you've got to look after them as well. It was Kay's first proper winter camp and she won't mind me saying this, she was terrified. We had a complete whiteout, but it just shows you what the conditions can get like. I use my watch, as you can see. I navigate and plot my route on there so I know where I'm going. If you can, for the eagle-eyed ones, you'll see that I'm actually off route at the moment, because the route I've got my sat-nav takes me past Scales Tarn, but I'm not going that way. I know this way though, so it's fine. And I can see the paths on the map as well. But yeah, you just want to come prepared when you like this. Spikes, absolutely essential. Ice axe, I don't need it just yet, but when we get to the steeper sections, it's great to dig into the ground just for safety, just for extra grip, because your poles aren't very good up here. And obviously it helps if you were to fall. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not going to be right on the edges today, but I will have it just in case, and it does help for that little bit of peace of mind. Ski goggles, again, I think pretty much essential, because you know it's very, if I take these off now, it's very blue and white out here, as it probably shows on the screen, whereas I'm looking through a nice dark shade. I can see clearly, it's vented so it's not steaming up, and I can see everything I'm doing. I've not got the snow in my eyes, so it's, you know, it's brilliant. But anyway, let's crack on. Again, taking my time today, just really getting the most out of it. I absolutely thrive on being outside. For those of you who follow me on my socials or follow me for a long time, especially on YouTube, you know how passionate I am about this. I just apologise that I've been so far removed from hiking the last 6 months. You know, I found my love again when I did the Tour de Mont Blanc and the Apex Everest Challenge. Oh, I was thriving, absolutely loved it. But then I did an event with Andy from Backpacking UK, the in Scotland in October, which I did with him last year, and I just wasn't feeling it at all. My mental health was in a really bad way. I really didn't want to be there, but I didn't want to let Andy down. But after day one, I had to go. I know I let Andy down on it, but it is what it is. You've got to look after yourself, and I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't tired, I wasn't struggling, I just really wasn't enjoying it, and everything in my mind was telling me to go home. I really wasn't enjoying it. I went home, which was the right thing to do, and I've only been out once since on my own. I did film it, as I say, but I started editing it, but then I just stopped. I think it's the last pictures on my social media. I went on Striding Edge, it was great, but for whatever reason I just wasn't I just wasn't feeling the video. I might well put it out another time because it seems a shame not to do it. I did a camp and everything, but we'll yeah, we'll see. Anyway, looks like those guys are turning off as I predicted, so let's crack on. Let's get up here. I might have to get my microphone out because it's getting a little bit windier now, but I do want to get up there nice and early, and I am going to pitch early because there are some gale force winds planned for later, so I want to get a solid base and then we can have a mooch around while we're up there. Okay, so still heading up. The wind's starting to pick up now. You may hear it on the camera, but yeah, the conditions are awesome. I've just done a live on Facebook, so I've just been taking my time getting up here. But yeah, it's looking good. I'd say it's getting windy, so it's about 11 o'clock. I do want to get up there and get my tent set up nice and early. Not many people will be up here today anyway, so it'll be fine. Look at this. Woo! So glad I've come out. Heading up into the abyss, as you can see. I'm not too sure if you can hear me now because it is very, very blustery and I've had to tuck the microphone right in my coat. So the sound might not be great, but the wind is starting to pick up and it is bitter. It's cold. Just walking on top of this ridge. Always got to be careful with the cornice on the side, as you can see. Don't walk on that because that can just give way. Just going to follow this all the way up and eventually we zigzag to the top. It's quite a way yet. Just keeping my eye on my watch all the time just to make sure we're not off track. But it's quite straightforward this, unless we get a white out, of course. It makes it a little bit more challenging then. Whew. There we go, we're not going to get too close to the edge. Right, onwards and upwards. Hi, all right? Whew, must be mad. Only the second person I've seen coming along this way. I'm so glad I wore my spikes today, much needed. Grip's unbelievable. Every now and then just give them a little bit of a tap just to dislodge any of the snow that builds up, because they're meant for ice really. I think this might be the start of the zigzagging up, I'm not sure. But we'll just keep following it up. Apologies if the audio isn't great. Not a lot I can do, it's very windy. And I've got to have the mic stuffed in my coat. As I say, gale force winds today, 45 mile an hour later on. All the way through the night. Going to make for an interesting night, I think. Just quickly, what I'm going to do now, while I can, is get a nice stone. This is a nice stone. I'm going to use this to bash the pegs in later. Again, there should be stones up there. There's quite a few on top of Blencathra, but thinking ahead, thinking smart, I don't want to leave myself struggling, so I've got a nice flat stone here. Just going to tuck it in the pocket of my bag, and then when I get to the top, I've got something to smack the pegs in with. Always thinking. I've got the ice axe out now just in case. It's going to get steep up here, so it gives you something to dig into, and just in case you do fall, you can stop yourself. So if you've been up Blencathra, you'll kind of recognise this zigzag bit. Zigzags up to the top. In ground that nobody's walked in. See how deep it is? And I'm feeling it now, my legs burning. Completely out of touch with all this weight on my back. Isn't it beautiful though? Wind is certainly picking up. If it stays like this, I can live with it. Don't want it too much stronger. £33 mph. The wind chill just setting, I've just turned it on. 42. You can see the wind chill getting down there, minus 0.2, it just keeps going down now. It's a cold one. Windy as well. Woo! Right, let's get to the summit. Just behind me is the top of Hallsfell Ridge. So we've just joined the top of there, and now I'm just following this kind of snowy section in front of me. I think it's a bit of a path, and this should take us along and up to the summit, especially going over these deep sections here. I don't see any footprints, so just winging it a little bit. Wow, right, I've come to tag Atkinson Pike first. Oh, fucking hell. Atkinson Pike, 868 metres. Woo. Now let's get to the top of Blencathra. My camera's icing up, but in a nutshell, I've made it to the top of Blencathra. There's the Ordnance Survey thing, and I've made it on top of the summit. It is a cold one up here, woo, and it's windy as well. I've just seen somebody else up here who was struggling a little bit knowing which way to go, but they're heading down now. Obviously no views, it's really windy. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to just drop down a little bit and see if I can find somewhere to pitch up. At least pitching up now, I get a good half an hour to know if the tent's good enough in the wind. Should be. I don't think I'm going to film the setup of the tent. It's too windy. You know, I just want to get it up. So I'm going to find a place to pitch and bloody get the tent up. The wind's coming from the summit, so I'm protected kind of a touch. But if I put the arse end of it facing the summit, that should work. Right, wish I don't even know how flat it is. I don't really care. I just want to get it up. I'm freezing. I might not even be able to get the pegs in, God knows, but I'll bring you back when I've got the tent set up. Well, that took far longer than I care to admit. It must have took me half an hour. Where I've pitched, the ground is full of rocks, so really difficult. But she's up. I've had to split some of the pegs, the pole. I normally just peg these on the same one, but I've split a couple of these. I think I need to move this one to the outside actually. But it's really windy, but it's looking quite solid. Quite happy with it. It's a little bit it's a little bit twisted here, but it'll do. Again, you tighten them up but not too tight. Yeah, so I think the only thing I need to do, I just need to move this one on the outside here, now I've looked at it, and then I'll be happy with that. Yeah, it's all a bit twisted here, but it don't matter. That should be over here a little bit, but if I move this, it should be fine. Make sure I've not missed any pegs. Oh, I've missed a peg under there. Get it. Just one little peg under there. There we go. Right, I'm going to move this, and then let's get in the tent, and let's get a brew on because it's brutal up here. Then we'll give a bit of an update. Whoa, state of it. Right, let's try and get in. Oh, nightmare. Oh, right, I'm finally settled a little bit. So I've not got anything set up in my tent yet. I brought my little foam mattress just to add a little bit of extra warmth, and as you can see it's pretty thin. I don't like it sticking out on my bag, so I've probably cut about that much off it just to make it slimmer, and it's not as long, but it's long enough just to sit on here, and it's under the main part of your body. It's going to add a little bit of extra warmth. You can hear it kicking up out there. The snow's coming in a bit more now. I just had to dry the tent off. I had snow all in the tent, so I've just had to clean that up, and now I think I can get a little bit settled. The most important thing to do is when you get in your tent, take your spikes off. So I've taken my spikes off. Sorry, we're going to keep steaming up for a little bit. I've taken my spikes off so you're not ruining your ground sheet. And the best thing about these boots, they're fantastic. So they're a boa. These are Adidas Terex boa. So you just turn them to tighten them, and then to take them off, you literally just pull it, and you can get your foot straight out. So again, done up tight, and in one go, you can get your boot off. It's fantastic. So obviously I'm steaming up in here, but once the camera acclimatises a little bit, we'll be good to go. Oh, so a little look outside. Oh, yeah. So that's what we've got to deal with. So I'm just going to chill out for now. It's 1:30. It's so early to set up, but nobody's about, and it's like a whiteout out there anyway, so it's fine. I've just come down from the summit a little bit. I've camped roughly where I camped last year, to be honest. Just seems like an alright kind of spot. The tent does seem quite solid. Fingers crossed that we don't have to evacuate in the night. I don't fancy that. But as you probably saw, I'm in the Hilleberg Soulo. It is good solid tent. So it does give me peace of mind, this one. At least I'm not worried about the tent collapsing. It should be able to hold up to these conditions. It is the red label, not the black label, but it should be alright. I still want to upgrade the poles. I'm going to put the black 10mm poles on this tent, just to add a little bit of extra strength. Not now obviously, but I'm going to buy some. So yeah, I think I'm just going to chill for a bit. I'm nice and warm now, I'm alright. I'm going to take this off, take some layers off, take my wet layers off, my waterproof pants, and then relax a little bit, and then I'll give you a bit of an update as to what's going on. I think I'm going to make a brew soon, and I've got my new stove that you've probably seen, these Featherlight ultralight tote ones with it, almost like the Stormy Norman sort of holder. I'll show you when I come to do it. I've just modified mine slightly. I've put these on. I will make a video of how to do it, but I've basically put these on, and I put one on the lid as well, just because these get incredibly hot. So it's just like a silicone sort of cover. It's really easy to do.
if you know how to do it, if you know the technique. And I put those on. Again, it still folds up as before, but you'll never burn your hands, so that works really well. And as you see in there, I've got some coffees, and I've got the new. It's an alcohol stove. I'm going to use that. It's all good, but it's just a bit of a nightmare in your tent when you've got a footprint, being able to put it on. But we'll work that out when we come to it. But I'll tell you what, it's so glad to be out again. I've missed this so much. I know I keep saying it, but I'm so glad I've made the effort to come out. It's all about doing the hard thing, and I don't know why I struggle so much getting out, but I really, really do. But I'm so glad I decided to get off my arse today. I think I mentioned it earlier, I had a photography job this morning to photograph a gym with all the snow. I was about to head there, but it would have taken me an hour and 40 minutes extra, and I might not have made it here. And I just thought, do I want to sacrifice another hiking day and earn some money, which I was going to do? And then as I was starting to head there, I just turned around and thought, no, if I go and do that photography job, I will never get to Blencathra today. So I come here and I'm so glad I've done it. But yeah, I'm just going to relax for a little bit in here, chill out, enjoy it, make the most of it. And then in a little bit, I'll get my sleep mat out and things like that. But the benefit of having one of these mats to sit on is you can sit on it and still keep your arse warm. So I'm absolutely fine in it at the moment. I'm going to make a brew. I almost just made it. I'm so out of touch for not filming things, but... So there's the stove. I've already put the cone together. So it's an alcohol stove. And I'm hoping that this little bit of foil will stop my mat burning. There's a little stove. Got the Soto lighter. Now that's lit. I know you can't see, but it is lit. And there we go. Lid on there. And let's hope it doesn't burn a hole in my mat. Coffee of choice. Nescafe 2-in-1. And I'm going to have it in my little, I think is this a GSI cup? With a lid. Little GSI cup. But these are great. I always like, it's a bit of a faff carrying like an extra thing, but I always like this because it keeps your drink so warm. And the good little thing about this as well, I don't know if you can see it, but in there it's like a measuring cup. So just in case you haven't got anything to measure as well, you can measure in there. And obviously it's got a lid as well, so your drink stays hot in there for ages. So I'm going to make this brew. It smells very burny, but I need to keep my eye on it to make sure it doesn't burn through my mat. Hopefully it won't, because the mat's wet anyway. All being well, that'll boil, bring you back, and we'll make a brew. See, I can hold this, I can pick that up, not going to burn my fingers. It's hot, it's warm, it's just what I need. Yeah, I'm going to have this now, warm up a little bit. Let's just have a little look to see whether this did burn anything. I don't think it did. No, perfect. So, if you ever want to make one of these, by the way, it's not kitchen foil, it's a roasting tin. So I've cut it down and folded it up, and that is perfect for just stopping the heat. That's cold already. The benefit of these, I've got loads of these. I actually make these as well. I can even show you how to make these, dead simple. But this material in here, once you poured your fluid in, it stops it. If you knock it over, it's not going to pour out. If you other alcohol stoves where it hasn't got this material in, what you'll find is they're dangerous, because if you knock it over, you're going to spill fluid everywhere and it's going to set alight. But the reason I like these is, you knock it over, it's absolutely fine. Put the lid on there, and then that's good for later, and that'll still have some fluid in it as well, and we'll just top it up later. But yeah, perfect. Right, I really don't want to go outside, but I need to do the deed. I need to go outside, not do the deed, I need to go outside and get some pictures of the tent and stuff, and I need a wee. So we're ready for this. Oh god, here we go. Seal the tent, don't want all snow in my tent.
Here we go. And the thing to do now is to make sure everything's still tight while we can. You can see this little bit of spin drift here, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to move it all up to the tent, just so it's going to stop spin drift this. You know, if you just seal all those little bits there. There we go, seal that off, and all these bits as well. You see it's already covered around these bits. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Just pack it in. Looking good though, isn't it? The summit's just up there, and guess what? We've got somebody else in the next hour and a half joining. They've just dropped me a message to say they're going to be up here in an hour and a half. It's a good friend, and it's somebody that's been on the channel before, and somebody you know well. So I'll let you know when they get here. You probably can't hear me now. Oh my god, it's so windy. Oh. Oh. There she blows. Quick as I can, showing you around the tent before we get back in it. I'm absolutely freezing, but I have set my sleeping bag up so when I get inside I can get nice and warm. Right, that'll do. Now to get warm. Right, little bit of an update. Can we see? Let's just clean the lens off a bit. Right, perfect. So we've got Al, and we're both in the Hilleberg Soulo. So Al just turned up, and I said to him, oh, he said, oh, I thought you were going to bring your Abisko Light 3. Not even brought a tent.
I was hoping he had that, so I brought a bivvy bag just in case. But obviously he's in this little thing, so we've got in and we've had a bit of a fight just to sort of get a few things around and about, but I think we'll make it work. I'm just gonna have to sleep with my legs out of the door in my bivvy bag, but I can just have my head in the vestibule. Everybody's happy.
We'll work it out somehow, but otherwise Al was going to sleep outside, and I'm not having that. He's not sleeping outside in these conditions.
That'd be right. It'd be right, mate.
It's all good fun, it's all an experience. It just shows you how much room's in these Hilleberg Soulos. So all I've done is unclipped the corner of the tent there on the inner to allow some more room. And obviously our bag's taking up space, but when this isn't here, or we move it round or whatever we do, it's going to give him a little bit more space and we should be fine. Listen, it's all a bit of fun.
Yeah, close mates and all that, bloody hell.
I know. Yeah, at least he made it though, but it's brutal out there, it's freezing. So yeah, we're just going to get settled now, get ourselves organised, and we'll speak to you in a bit. Still nice and cosy in here. Well, I think we're about 4 hours down.
12 to go. Yeah, it's going to be a long night listening to him nattering on all that time.
Yeah, it's cosy in here, certainly is. And look at all the ice forming. Al's getting dripped on because it's absolutely frozen all in the inside of this tent because of condensation, and it's frozen. What we don't want it to do is warm up, because if it warms up, all that is going to drip right onto Al.
It'll be literally like a shower in here. Yeah.
It's all good fun, but look, at least we've got plenty of leg room. Yeah, anyway, it's all good fun, but do you know what, I'm not going to film much more tonight unless anything happens, any drama, which I hope there's not, but you never know. This wind's going to carry on all night. We've checked it, 30 mile an hour, 35 mile an hour till morning, and then through the morning as well. So yeah, we're just going to chill out, try see that we both need the toilet, we both don't want to get out of this tent either. It's going to be a nightmare, but let's get through the night and I'll bring you back if anything goes wrong. If not, I will see you in the morning.
morning. Well, that was a long night. It's 8:30 now. You can probably hear the wind still blowing. I did film a little bit last night of the wind, but it was horrendous all night. It hasn't stopped once, and it was so strong in the night. But we survived the night. The tent, because there's two of us, and you're thinking, where's where's Al? Al's in the vestibule. I'll show you now.
Hey-o.
So there's Al, but look, this is how Al had to sleep. So he got half his body out of the tent. I mean, how we even get out of this, I have no idea. Everything's soaking. My jacket is drenched through the bottom. Probably won't be able to film this. But yeah, the plan now is just to somehow get the stuff together, get out and get off this mountain. I couldn't film getting out of the tent. It was just too much of a mission. So I've managed to get all my stuff together and got myself out. It is freezing. Look at it out here. Here's the tent. That's obviously the sleep mat. But just look at it. See? Absolutely. Both solid days. This held up well, even though the weight of the guy lights. Considering how loose they are now, it's done well. See how it's all caving in here. So I'm just waiting for Al to get his stuff together. It took me ages, so he's going to try and get his stuff together in the tent and then somehow collapse this thing. This is always the tricky bit. No, not Leave No Trace. It's Gleave No Trace.
Alright.
Gleave No Trace. Yeah, we're all packed away. We've just seen somebody else go up to the summit. So we've managed to get it away. Bit of an effort, and now we're going to try and find the path. Luckily I've got some GPS and we know roughly the direction. So as long as we stick the bridge to our right, we should be alright. Good to go. Ice axe at the ready. All this fresh snow here, crazy.
Kris is up there, down this one, onto the next, and we just wind our way back down. I'll tell you what, it's a lot nicer. Out of the window, that one.
So this section now, if you can see it, this is the zigzag section from before. So we're just zigzagging our way down so we know we're on the right path. And basically the path is just caked in snow, so it's quite easy to make out. Flattens out a bit, a little bit more zigzag,
and then it should be a straightest run down and back. These are the conditions we live for, aren't they? Yeah.
I live for getting home and getting to the fire.
Yeah,
having a cup of tea.
But we were just saying then, like I mentioned on my video earlier, that I struggled getting out, and I'm so glad I made the effort to come today, because you see these conditions once in a blue moon. This might be the last of it now, you never know, another couple of days of this and that's it for another year. Loving it. So that's a drop off there. Goes without saying, but you don't stand on that, because that you don't know where it drops off. That's just like a little cornice. That wind just isn't letting off at all. Woo. There we go. He's trying. Beautiful. The snow whipping up. That's where we've come from. And that over there, 2 ridges away, is Hallsfell Ridge. Why do we do it, Al?
I don't know, mate. Insanity.
The only thing I would say to anybody else coming out in these conditions is just make sure you're prepared and you have the right gear for it. Do you need an ice axe? Probably not if you're not on a ridge, but you definitely need crampons, food, lots of warm clothes, and know what you're doing navigation wise. Or don't come out in something like this, especially on your own, because all this is good, it looks beautiful, but you know, anything can go wrong quickly. You need to make sure you've got the right stuff to be able to look after yourself.
Just a point on that, whilst we're talking, the path's over there.
All right.
So we need to make it about another 50 yards right. Otherwise we end up, it's a little bit further that way.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, look at that, see? All this fresh snow here. People coming up here now. No
no goggles, they'll struggle. Morning. Oh my god, I can't see now. I took my goggles off. It's so bright. But we've basically just got off the main bit now, and you can see where we're heading. So Al came up a slightly different way to me. He came straight up, whereas I came round through the valley and up. In fact, I summited just over here. So up ahead and came back. And then that's the road where we're parked. Let's get down there. Mad. Right, we've just dropped down a little bit further. We're obviously, you can see we're nearly back at the road now anyway, so I think it's time to end the video. Just want to say this has been epic. I'm so glad I came out. I've really enjoyed it, and it was a pleasure for Al to come and join as well. It was a nice little cheeky surprise at the top.
Been awesome, mate. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I am thankful for you for allowing your space in that tiny little tent just to keep me on my head out of that awful weather. So.
Anytime. We were good mates before, but now we know each other even closer. Literally slept head to head. But yeah, Al's done well because his legs were stuck out the tent all night. Obviously in his bivvy bag, but he stayed warm, he's got good gear. I was warm too. Obviously it was a little bit of a challenge, but really enjoyed it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like. It does help more people see my videos. And if you fancy subscribing, please do so. Love for you to be part of the community. But other than that, I just want to say thank you very much. This was Wildcamp and a hike on Blencathra, and I will see you soon on the next one. Peace.